I'm off to the market.
Don't hurt anyone.
Very funny.
What's in the purse, Granny?
You mean this? Move it, dummy.
What you have just seen will focus your attention on a growing danger in our country. Senior citizens are being made targets by bad guys watching for quick and easy money. Hello, my name is Terry Vaughn. Sadly, every day now there is a new report of a senior man or a woman being attacked while on their way to the market or just moving through an area that has become dangerous because of the changing times. Now here in the U.S., the current political and economic downturn has put over 50 million senior citizens at risk of being personally attacked, robbed, or even killed for their possessions. This is a big problem. The good news is there is a tool seniors can use to help them survive these dangerous times. I'm not talking about tear gas or pepper spray, which can be an effective deterrent if time permits, or if not empty or dropped on the ground because it's too small for older hands to manage. No, there is an immediate form of protection any senior can legally have ready and available for personal use wherever they go, even on a public transport like an airplane. I'm talking about the common walking cane, a powerful weapon in the hands of a trained senior. Well, congratulations. You have chosen to become a senior that knows how to use them effectively. Now, with my experience and expertise and your participation, we can turn you and other seniors into a battle-ready Sensu cane warrior. Now, this may sound scary, but don't worry, it's easy to learn and use. And no, you won't have to roll around on a training mat or use muscles that have been inactive for too long. Well, first, a little bit of history. I'm a retired combat veteran with the U.S. Army Green Berets, a former police officer, a sheriff's deputy, a bounty hunter, black belt in Kung Fu Sensu, and a law enforcement training officer for over 35 years. I know something about dealing with bad guys. In addition, after returning from combat duty in Vietnam in 1968 and discharged back to civilian life in Hollywood, I formed my own film company, and there I produced over 400 movies for large corporations like Westinghouse, Coca-Cola, and others, successfully working in the film industry for many years. Now, during those same years, I studied and earned my black belt in a style of Kung Fu called Sensu Kung Fu, a street-style form of Kung Fu that is easily learned and used for fast, effective results that easily adapt to any location or situation. I also worked in law enforcement, not only as an officer in the street, but as a training officer, helping other officers to adapt and utilize hands-on techniques to control bad guys and defend themselves from attacks in the real world. Now today, drawing from all of this past experience, I have created a series of training routines specifically designed for senior citizens. I call it Sensu Cane Senior Moves, an online video platform which can be viewed on any digital display device. What you are watching today is the first film in the Senior Moves series of training videos, which outlines the principles necessary to help you start thinking and acting like a Sensu warrior, and to help you develop the mindset required for using the Sensu cane and other handy items as defensive and offensive combat tools. Now, will this training, this series, stop the bad guys from attacking seniors? Of course not. But for those of you who don't wish to be victims, the information and techniques you will learn will teach you and equip you to recognize and avoid many dangerous situations before they happen. But if necessary, give you the workable tools to help you flip an attack on the bad guys and send them running. Now, once you see the benefits of this vital education, we hope you will help us get the word out to other seniors who can also benefit from this training. Sansukein Senior Moves is designed to train you how to protect yourself in many situations and from many kinds of possible confrontations with bad guys. Now, physical strength is not a prerequisite. The techniques you will learn, coupled with a positive mindset, will be the keys to your safety, not your strength of movement. You will learn how to think as a warrior. You will learn about the best weapon available to you as a senior, the only weapon you can legally carry with you on an airplane, the common walking cane, which you will learn to use as your Sansukein. All of the knowledge you will gain in these videos won't be magical in its use. You must do your part. You must do what I call lap drills. L stands for learn the technique. A stands for apply the move. P stands for practice until you can do it without thinking about it. If you will do that, practice the drills, and follow my instructions, I guarantee you will become a highly effective senior Sansukein warrior bad guys will want to stay away from. Now, with that in mind, let's get started. Now, this is probably going to be one of the most important parts of this entire training, and that's why we call it the mental edge. You need to learn to use your brain. Most people who become victims of violence do so because that's right. You're supposed to now pull out your sheet of paper that you have there somewhere called Learning to Be Safe as a Senior. And basically, as you go through, follow along here, I will fill in the blanks for you when I get to that particular part. Now, so in this case, number 1, most people who become victims of violence do so because, 1, they put these words in, they set themselves up to be victims. Sure. Examples. When you're young and you hang out with a bad crowd, you're setting yourself up. When you fail to watch or look for potential danger ahead, you're setting yourself up. When you fail to plan for possible imminent danger, you see, you have to look ahead, or you're possibly setting yourself up. When you fail to plan for possible immediate danger, in other words, your instincts are saying, I got to be careful here, and you don't listen to them. Number 4, when you fail to acquire the skill set needed to keep you safe. One of the reasons you're taking this course. The first step to becoming a warrior, just my little helper here, the first step to becoming a warrior, well, the first step is to protect yourself by learning to use the most powerful tool available. Train your brain, and it will keep you safe. Example, you're shopping at the mall. You stop along the way to take a call on your cell phone. As you choose a location and position to maintain while talking on the phone, your basic premise will require that you choose one that will not make you susceptible to an attack without being able to see it coming. You stand with your back against a wall, perhaps partially covered by a large plant. You move your purse or your wallet out of reach by any passing stranger. You constantly check the flow of traffic and those passing to ensure none of them are a threat. You get the point. Is this all being paranoid? Well, remember, paranoia means you are sure someone is out to get you. Being a warrior means you're only training for the possibility, not the probability. Now, conversely, a person without this basic program doesn't even think about these things and often allows or even set themselves up to be an easy target. Maybe by standing with their back to the public, allowing strangers to pass by with no way to spot or be alerted to a possible purse snatcher or a bad guy who might be stalking them. They might even back up against a window with shoppers on the other side who can easily look right into their purse to see what it contains when they open it up or stand there talking on their phone. Perhaps they choose to stand under an overhead light, which makes them easily noticed from clear across the mall because of the bright colors they've chosen to wear. All of these moves and choices are just what the pickpockets and thugs are looking for. But as of today, you are now a senior warrior, and warriors are not careless with their personal safety. In the Senior Moves course, you will learn to protect yourself by learning to use the most powerful tool available to us all. The most effective tool to protect us is, number 2, fill in the blanks, the thing between our ears, our brain. Through our mind, we learn to interpret the world. By the training and use of our mind, we learn to make decisions that protect us as we move through our daily routine. To survive this human adventure, we must make the decision to survive. We must deal with the reality that we may be forced, by any threat we face, to hurt or even kill another person in order to survive. To successfully navigate these possible challenges, we must have not only the will to live, but the determination to survive. By keying our usage of the physical force necessary to survive, and or our choice to escalate our use of that force, in answer to any continued moves against us an attacker may make, will allow us to justify how far we may be forced to go, or how high we may choose to elevate our defense against that attacker. You see, then they make the decision. This approach allows the bad guy to make the decision, for us to keep fighting and increase our efforts against him until he is defeated. You must become a warrior in your own defense to survive any attack on your well-being and safety. No one is coming to rescue you. It's up to you to save yourself. Now, there are several steps you must take in order to become that warrior. The easiest fights to win are the ones you recognize before they happen and manage to avoid altogether. Now, first, set in place your basic program. Fill in number 3 now. There is no way I will allow anyone to hurt me ever. Let's repeat that sentence so you get that down. There is no way I will allow anyone to hurt me ever. Fill that in, number 3. Repeat this sentence over and over again until it becomes part of your being. Learn to make decisions that support and comport to that basic program. Now, second, don't stand out. Learn to maintain a low profile. Blend in. Become part of the general mix. Move with the shadows. And conversely, advertising works. Promote prosperity and you will get noticed. So do the opposite. Become invisible. Now, third, be aware of your environment. Be alert and observe. Spot trouble before it happens. We may have developed bad habits in a trusting way, and because of that, often leave ourselves open to adverse situations. Now, add to this, travel with a partner. You should always try to have company with you. Now, when do you act? Well, learn when to act. Recognize that in any confrontation, there is a split second in which it can go either way. Fill in number 4. A split second in which it can go either way. You see, you must always be awake and observant to recognize when the moment appears for the taking. You must rescue yourself right now, timing your response. Number 5, recognize and take control of that split second. Fill in the blank, fill in your form, number 5. Recognize and take control of that split second. And quickly make the moves necessary to win the moment, defeat the bad guy, and survive to fight another day. To successfully complete the steps above, we need tools that work. But before we look at those tools, let's talk about these 3 steps in more detail. First, let's set your basic mantra. There is no way I will allow anyone to hurt me ever. It's a very important reason you should do this. Once this master idea is part of your very existence, any new idea will have to fall within that general premise, that you will not allow anyone to hurt you. Every time you make a decision that sets up the possibility that you could be vulnerable to attack, it goes against the premise. Your subconscious mind will object. It will collide with the latest decision and stop you from implementing it and force you to change or augment the idea until it comports to your basic program that you'll only allow ideas that won't create the possibilities for others to hurt you. See? Also, maintain a low profile. Have you ever noticed how often a car thief will choose to steal a blue four-door Nissan Altima or a gray Volkswagen Jetta? No? They look like the they look for the bright red, don't they? The Chevy, Camaro, a Ford Mustang, convertible, or the Maserati. Brighter colors promote a greater perceived value. Practice a common style of dress code then. Dress in gray, tans, or browns. Don't wear expensive jewelry. Save it for the special event. And don't flash your money around. Go to the mall with a family, friend, or relatives. Typical targets for thieves are purses and wallets. Whatever they do, it has to be quick. They don't usually have time to question where you keep your money. We recommend that women carry money not in your purse, but in a front pocket where it is hidden, difficult to get to. Men, don't carry your money in a wallet. Keep your cash in a front pocket or a money belt. Credit cards and driver's licenses can be replaced, but once the cash is gone, it's gone. Learn to observe your surroundings. Look around you when you walk. Watch where you stand to take a phone call. Ask yourself, how visible am I to others when counting your money? What size bills do you choose to use for your cash purchases? Where do you choose to sit in the cafeteria at lunch? Where do you choose to park at the parking lot? Is it close to the mall, the building entrance? Realize just how vulnerable you are when you get out of your car. How carefully do you watch strangers moving around you? And do you carefully profile people? See, these are all things that you may already do, but you may not be doing them in a way to keep you safe. Let's look at each one of these in more detail. For instance, walking. Stay on the sidewalk in busy areas. Stay away from areas where people are standing in the way of traffic or where people are being closely watched. Always travel as a team. Have a friend or family member with you. Standing. Never stand in the middle of a walkway or take a call or count your money or apply lipstick. Stand with your back to the wall, preferably a corner where you can see movement around you. Counting money. Don't count your money in public, ever. Go to a restroom or changing room to do this. Even if done discreetly, it's wise to not advertise that you even have any. The sharp eyes of a prowling bad guy will notice and possibly decide to take action to relieve you of that money. Cash purchases. Don't carry or use large bills. Buying goods with $100 bills is advertising wealth, even if it's your last 100. Bad guys hunt and observe. They select a target and then set up to attack. So be observant yourself. You could become their next victim. Sitting in a public area. Where you sit in a cafeteria is of special importance. Sitting with your back to the public area gives you no way to observe movement behind you until it's too late. Sit with your back to a wall, near an exit if possible, where you can have a clear view of all your surroundings. Make the approach to your location difficult for others to make without you taking notice. Parking. Always park close to the entry door or the elevator. Try to park near valet parking if possible. If there's nothing close, then consider an alternative parking area or drive to another establishment. Always take someone with you if possible. Enter and exit your car. How you get in and out of your car is very important, and you will learn additional moves involving your Sensu cane in later training videos. But there are things you can do right now that can add a higher level of safety. Be observant and look all around you before exiting or entering your vehicle. Ambush territory. Whenever possible, stay away from tight or narrow spaces, as these are ideal places for an ambush. With less room for movement, evading a confrontation becomes more difficult. Profiling. The act of spotting potential problems and avoiding them. Look around for possible bad guys who may be looking for opportune targets. Look for people who may be in the area watching passersby with an unusual interest. Be aware of people having conflicts. Yelling or raised noises can be a clue to areas you should avoid. They may be a possible distraction that are actually a setup for attacks by muggers. Go with a friend and jot down notes on people and situations you think that might suggest you change your actions and it would make you safer. Check out and carefully pass through or avoid altogether the busier areas that might be used by pickpockets or bad guys looking for opportunities to attack victims.